Hi, this is Dave Weiss from Wipeout Enterprises. Welcome back to our series that we're talking about valve train, and then following into our mission statement that we want to educate people on how to work on their tractors, what parts they need, and why we put these parts in that we do to make these things durable. So this is the third of the series on the valve train. So we're going to talk about adjusting the rocker shaft assembly. We'll continue to load our instructions on our web store, but this is a complete rocker shaft assembly. If you went back to the first two videos, we recommended the minimum parts, what we put in the valve train, and then a couple of the upgrades. But here you can see the stealth roller rockers, the drop-in valve spring kit, the shaft collars. This one just happens to have the high strength rocker shaft, but it looks just like, from the outside, it looks just like the OEM. It does not have the head studs on it right now. We were using it for a mock-up for something else. And you probably can't see it in the video, but it's got the rocker hinge supports also. So once you get this assembly all put together, you get it set on your cylinder head. This is how we recommend that you set it up. We use these shims. There's a minimum spec of 21 thousandths between the rocker and your shaft color or your hinge support. You want the rocker to be able to move sideways, have some clearance, but not go so far sideways that it hits the retainer and releases the valve. So we use these shims. When we initially set it up, we will use, I should have took these out of the package, sorry about that. We'll use these 25 thousandths thick shims. Looks just like the other one I had. And we get these from McMaster-Carr. So the McMaster-Carr part number, you're going to want to write this down because it makes it a whole lot easier to assemble, is 94420A250. So on the initial setup, very first time you set this up, we actually set them to 25 thousandths. And what we do, we take the shims and we stick them in between each rocker. So you need 12 of them. We put all 12 of them in, and then we shove the rocker shaft to the rear. It seems like that works the best if we push the whole rocker shaft to the rear. And then you want to make sure the rollers are sitting on top of the valve stems. Sometimes we have to adjust the width of the rocker stands. And in a surface grinder, usually we do it in a surface grinder. But sometimes if it's not sitting right on top of that valve stem, I like to make it perfect. When we're building the motors, we adjust the stands to get there. And in some of your applications out there, you just aren't going to have the equipment to do it. As long as it's sitting on top of the valve stem, maybe 60 thousandths either way, that's fine. So I said we put all these in with a 25 thousandths, push it to the rear, and then we tighten our rocker shaft down. And then when we're done, we pull these back out. And in the initial setup, that's when you tighten your shaft collars down with the 25s. Anytime you pull the rocker shaft off and you put it back together, we never take the shaft collars loose again. That's when we go to the 20 thousandths, and that gives us a little tolerance, a little wiggle room here for assembly, that now we use a 20 thousandths, and that's still within your spec. Like I said, you just need some movement that is not tight in there. So that's how we set up the rocker shaft. And I forgot to give you the part number for the 20 thousandths. Same company, McMaster-Carr. It's 94420A242. And both of those come from McMaster-Carr. You can order from online from them, and it just makes it a whole lot easier to set this up. The rest of the valve adjustment, we do it in order per the manual, and then whatever your cam supplier tells you on valve lash. Again, thank you for watching. Have a blessed day, and look forward to you watching next week.